So I'm here with Nick Wong, Marketing Manager of Warner Brothers Interactive. Nick, what are the major titles you're launching here at E3?
So we've got a few titles at the moment being launched. Behind you, you'll see Dying Light from Techland. Batman Arkham Origins is coming out also this year. And then in the family and animation space, we've got products like Lego Marvel, Lego Chima Laval's Journey, and then obviously our Lego Friends. But outside of that, a couple of the other big ones is Mad Max and also Scribblenauts Unmasked.
I've noticed that from comic books to movies, you've got a really strong narrative running through your gameplay. How important is that to you?
Well, it's pretty important, I think. It's about engaging that consumer, not just in the mechanics of playing the game, but also being deeply involved in the storyline and embracing these characters and taking it on board and becoming passionate about the game itself. So yeah, very, very important.
Are there other ways that you're using technology to drive a better gaming experience?
We have, I think, with the recent release of Injustice, you've seen us bring out the iOS version of the game, and that allowed us to engage a consumer very early on in the piece, before they actually had the console experience. Outside of that, we've got other innovations in play, but probably the most relevant one at the moment is Lego Chima, which is a massive Lego property that's coming out on the handheld, but prior to that, it came out on an iOS platform first, and then we're moving this into an online arena so kids can actually engage in it in this light persistent world.
And what sort of opportunities do these new technologies represent for marketers?
You know what, the opportunities are boundless. You look at how media landscape has changed over many years, and we're finding it harder and harder to really, I guess engage our consumers with limited budgets. So we're looking at different avenues and executions to get that consumer engagement very early on in the piece. And I think Injustice is that great example, and same with Lego Chima, where we had this iOS platform to talk to the consumer first, get them understanding our products before the actual physical release of a console game, and before then, they're already engaged in this fantastic product.
Exactly, so you're building that demand before we even go to market.
We are.
Now, let's talk Batman. It's a huge, iconic property. How do you safeguard against weakening such an iconic brand as Batman?
Well, I guess, Simon, you're right. Batman is so iconic in nature. I think he's coming up to his 75th anniversary next year, I believe, since he's been around. And I think for us, it's about protecting Batman's image and making sure, we're not giving Batman away in a frivolous manner and letting him hold hand tools or soft drinks in that way, but making sure that we stay true to the DC property and the license itself. If you look at our slate, it's been a couple of years since we had a last Batman, and we're not getting Batman out there, on an annual basis, but really being protective in how we get him to market and how often we bring him to market.
So you've got this situation where you've got a film and a video game. Do you see there to be any cross-pollination for brands or products between the two properties?
You know what? There is to a certain degree, but again, being very protective of the Batman universe, we're very mindful of what cross-pollination will allow. It has to make sense for us that Batman obviously wouldn't be seen with cans of soft drinks, but he might be seen with, I guess the most up-to-date technological gadgets out there that are available to the mass consumer.
Excellent. Well, Nick, thank you very much for your time. We're going to check out some of the great games that you've got on display here. And if you want to check back, B&T, live this week, all from E3.